Okay, we're back in the dark room. I've just set up the analyzer for grade 2, 1.26 seconds, and we're going to do a test print first off. New chemicals, so that means that there could be a variation from one to the other. So it always pays to take 5 minutes and just make sure that you've got the right chemical mix. So both hands on here. First step, really encouraging. I've actually got blue light working, which I wasn't before. Interesting enough, I've just watched a set of videos by Steve Sherman where he advocates using separate light sources to get a proper green and a proper blue. And it's pretty hard to argue when you see the prints that he gets, but we'll just have to see how that goes with that. So the analyzer that I have, he obviously doesn't have the analyzer 500 that I bought, which I think is just outstanding, and the prints that I get using this system is quite remarkable. And so I'm a pretty happy camper in that area. But I can also see when you get somebody get the results that he gets, you got to get there and go, well, hey, maybe I should be trying this out. Alright, here we go, into the suit. Now the first thing I want to look at is I'm watching this, and I basically expect to see an image start to come off this paper within the first 15 seconds. So we've done 10, 12, and I can just start to see it starting to come out now. 15. Okay, so that's a good test for chemicals, really. Already the outer borders are black. Okay, the reason they weren't black before was because I didn't have any blue light at all, and so therefore it was all green. So this is a much more lively test print. I've decided to develop this for 2 minutes and keep that as a standard figure, and then if I was using fiber paper, then I would actually bring it up to 3 minutes. So we've just done 1 minute and it actually looks pretty darn good as it is. So if by any chance I ended up with this as black as anything because of 2 minutes instead of 1 minute, then I'll have to change that, but it looks pretty good. There's some real gutsy blacks in this already, and remember, this is actually a test strip, so it's not really just one print, so it shouldn't take too long to do. The other print that I haven't even gotten to is the classroom in the Mary MacKillop Centre in Penola. I haven't even looked at that yet, and will do, and just see where that comes from there. Alright, so we've now got 5 seconds to go. I'm just going to lift that up, okay, into some water for a while. Okay, only a few minutes, doesn't take long, and it doesn't hurt. These tongs are that old that basically the rubbers have come off them. They were second hand when I got them, and I can understand why a lot of the old printers didn't even used to use tongs or anything like that, just their fingers. But it's supposed to be pretty bad for us. Alright, now just get rid of the stop, into the fixer, and just sit it there. Okay, over here now, timer, and I can hear it ticking away, and so off we go. Pretty easy to see where 1.67 just there, and then it darkens, and then we get over here. Again, it's looking pretty good up here, which is what I was trying to get in the first place. So I'm pretty positive that we're going to get a fairly reasonable print out of this straight off. Chemicals are working fine, paper looks nice, this doesn't look ghosted, and across this bottom strip, okay, is where it's maximum, around about 7.74 seconds, and we'll just see what goes from there. I did a wonderful video of this last week, and had the GoPro on my head adjusted the wrong way, and everyone got a fantastic shot of my protruding stomach, which didn't go down well. Yeah, I wasn't all that impressed with that. Okay, so now we can sit that in there, and let's have a look. Alright, I haven't got any paper out, so beautiful. Alright, go put the light on and have a look and see what I've found. A bit of water. I got some pretty meaty colours in this. It's really nice. So it's actually working how I'd like it to work. And I'm not going to muck around too much with this. Last weekend was so cold that I had a heater on in here, just to, and that'll do. Again, this is my test print. Over here on the right you can see this contraption, which looks like one of the kite things they used to have in the World War II submarines for the Germans, but in actual fact that's my actual contact printing holder for my dip and dunk tank that I made, and it works pretty good. It's just a couple of pieces of H mold, and you just slide the film in here, and the film ends up top of there. My idea was that if this stuff was going to rise up and down, that I could put a little clip here and here. Next time I might try that. The trouble is that point there and that point there touch where I don't need it to touch, and so there's the rest of the bucket in here, and so I put dividers in, and you put it into there, and you know, according to me that should be stacked deep enough. But what I didn't realise was it actually rose during the 1 hour stand development. Okay, I've got another couple of dividers here, so it just means this one, yeah, no worries, same thing, it's just a fraction. The bucket cost me about $3, and the dividers are out of some laminate lamy panel, and then I've just used a Fullerpreen to actually hold these into position, which was a dog of a thing to get your hand into, but these dividers all hold water, and so that's my dip and dunk tank. It may be that if it doesn't work that well, that I end up using this one, which is a larger bucket, but it's got this knob in here which doesn't help at all. So experimentation is always good fun. Alright, okay, so we've given that a wipe, we've given that another wipe. I just want to have a look and say, rightio, let's, okay, so the old squeegee is really handy. Okay, people use microwave ovens and goodness knows what else, but I can actually put this on, and I finally found a use for this thing. Okay, and last week it was really cold. So there I am out here trying to actually get something. Nothing would work. Some days in dark rooms that's what happens. So there I am, I'm using the heater just to dry the front. Okay, resin paper doesn't take much. In summer, 5 minutes and it's dry. Okay, hot darkroom. Even though I have all the mod cons, I've even got an air conditioner up here. At the moment that's all closed off, so that's nice. It's actually looking there. Okay, so now we can actually have a really good look at that, and you can see quite easily there's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 looks pretty good. Okay, once we get to 5, we're starting to get a little bit of overdeveloped. So if we actually have a look through here, you know, here's our main points, and I brought along a marker pen. I thought this might be a more appropriate way to actually show you where the steps are. There they are there. Okay, here's another one. Here's another one. Now, this is really hard. Yeah, it's here and here. And if we look down the side, it's harder down the side here where the floor is actually, which is a bit of a pain. So there's another one. There's another one. If we come down here and get to about there, there it is there, and this one here I can't tell. Oh yeah, here it is, just there. Alright, okay, so if we actually look at it, it's not base white. Okay, it's got a little shade in there, but it's actually got a bit of texture. This is black, that's what I'm after. We almost lose the frame. Now the choice is, I can either do that and then say, okay, is that going to be too bright through here? And that's the thing I'm a bit worried about. So I think, and I know that this area here was in more shade than the rest, and so I'm thinking about the overall print. And you got 1.67, and I can actually use these as my last week's points, because they're exactly the same. Okay, 1.26, 1.81, and this is just how the analyzer works. 2.6, okay, 3.74, all right, and then we got 5.38. all right, well, my first one is going to be 3.74, and I'll try that and just see how that works. And if I'm unhappy with it, then I'll actually boost it out to 5.38. So 3.74 is pretty easy, really. There it is there. Okay, and here's the next one. So this analyzer is a fantastic piece of kit. I don't believe it's being produced anymore, but it is just fantastic. If it is, no doubt someone will tell me, but I bought this, and it revolutionized how I printed, but it took me about a year to work it out. I'm not a mathematician, and a lot of the stuff was working out maths and gear like that, and I found that really quite difficult. So alright, we've got our contact print in. Alright, we're set there. I know that I'm going to have good light here, and there's no dodging and burning required. Bang, off we go. Now, that was it. Alright, so, you know, thank heavens for that the actual blue light's working. Heard recently that the government in their wisdom are going to wipe out halogen globes, which means that I've got quite a problem, because this enlarger, which incidentally cost $92,000 back in 1973, doesn't work very well. I've got one globe, one of the original pearl globes, and they are just an arm and a leg. because I'd actually got hold of this head and put it in a put the Ilford head on there, and I've been printing this fashion ever since. I noticed in watching the Steve Sherman videos that he uses the exact same enlarger 138S, and but he actually uses the two contrast glasses that are actually fitted there. So his head is actually up about another 100 mil higher right across here. I don't know how that works, but he does have very, very low contrast negatives by design, and he talks a lot about that. And if you want to find out how he prints, it's well worth looking. But what you will find out is that for him to actually get the in sharpness he's getting, he's actually printing a little bit using those contrast filters, which collimate the light, I guess. But I get really sharp prints just using this straight on top of the pack, so I don't actually see the point for me. But if I did actually have the time in my life to actually redo another set and put the actual filter packs back in there, because they're worth an arm and a leg, and I've got the whole set. I bought the whole set, cost me about $150 a few years ago, and been up in my cupboard ever since, because I found this to be such a fantastic tool, just using this. Alright, so we've got a print, and the print looks exactly how we thought it would come out. Alright, and for once I can see through here. This is actually looking really nicely. Learning how to read a print in red light is just something that you learn over years. It doesn't happen overnight, and the number of times that I put lights on and muck prints up because simply I was trying. Beautiful. Okay, you can actually have a look at this one out in the light. It's lovely. Okay, not so bad. Still got a little big detail on there, but considering in impact between the two, you can see that that's actually a half reasonable print. Alright, so now we just pull that one across, and we actually pull that one across, and it's actually, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not really concerned all that much about this here, because what I really like, that area there, that's the thing that people are going to look at. Okay, if I'd have been able to have a bit more time, like about another hour, I could have actually dropped this right down to F45 or even lower, and managed to actually get a print that would be absolutely bullet print sharp from front to back. But that wasn't available, and so this is what we've got. But we've got a clean print. We know I've got maximum black printed here, and you've got a range of tones in between. Love the actual backs of the chairs, looking around here. Okay, the little shadow up here, I love that. Got some very nice detail, and this is not blown out. Okay, so and I've got a picture frame around here.